Welcome everyone. This is Scarborough Missions, and I'm going to show you the first magazine cover that Scarborough Mission produced. You're going to see a little picture. Sometimes I've showed young people the very first Scarborough Mission magazine. It's a little Chinese boy. A divine light's coming down him, and in his hand is clasped a rosary. And down the side it says like 33,000 people die unbaptized every day. And we better get involved here. Help them get to heaven. And then I take a magazine from last year, and it's a picture of Pope Benedict. And he's involved with some Arab people, and they're signing something. Look at the contrast. Look where the Spirit has led us in less than 100 years. That kind of transformation. And I think we got there through the missionary experience of meeting people from other cultures, other religions, and discovering that God was already there before we got there.
Sometimes change is simply exciting. Sometimes it is also painful. At Scarborough Missions, it has been a bit of both. And while the society has experienced a major transformation from its beginnings 100 years ago, it is the paradigm shift experienced in one generation that has been truly breathtaking.
I grew up in the years before Vatican II. I grew up in a Roman Catholic culture. That culture which nourished and nurtured vocations to the priesthood and religious life has largely evaporated. So I find myself in many ways in a new culture, which in some ways is even more alien than the culture of the Philippines, where I worked for 14 years.
I believe that we have to be faithful to living and dying, and dying to ways which have not been good, or not been constructive, or have not been encouraging of life, and alive to the possibilities for the future for everybody, not just for ourselves.
If you look at the new paradigm of mission, the focal point is not the church. The focal point is the reign of God. The church is the servant, not the finality of mission.
The center of gravity has shifted. Europe and North America are no longer the center of gravity of the Christian world. Most of the world's Christians and most of the world's Roman Catholics now live in the South. When I went to the Philippines in 1975, there were still a goodly number of foreign priests and even a number of foreign bishops. That has now changed totally. There are no more foreign bishops and very few foreign priests left in the Philippines. In fact, many priests from the Philippines are coming to the north. So this has also had a great impact on the missionary effort. We are now on the receiving end.
When God asked Scarborough Missions to go through a transformation so complete and all-encompassing, the task was personal as well as institutional. It would mean not just the creation of a mission center for the future, but also for the missionaries to become models for how change is accepted and lived, with modesty, humility, and trust.
The turning point certainly was Vatican II, and that started to make people think. One of the decrees of the Vatican was that every person is saved through the light of God, the Spirit of God, and the gospel is seen more as a kind of a ferment in the world, like yeast, to kind of transform the world, and as more of a light. So I think that changed our whole perspective.
The changing thrust of our work has kind of reflected larger trends in the church. Our founder, Monsignor Fraser, was very much concerned with building up the local church in China. That actually was an idea which was being promoted by the Vatican at the time. The second phase of our work involved action for justice. And this also was a thrust of the larger church. And then in more recent years, our thrust has been interreligious dialogue And this also is reflected in a number of official documents from the hand of Pope John Paul II and the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue.
In recent years, here in Scarborough Missions, we've really kind of opened ourselves up to new things. By having a coordinator for our mission center now, we have all kinds of high school students coming in for retreat days with their teachers.
So here's our Sikh, fully initiated Sikh. It is a beautiful religion. Look at the golden rule. I'm a stranger to no one, and no one is a stranger to me. Indeed, I'm a friend to all. Isn't that beautiful? That's the kind of people.
And these retreat days are reflecting on the golden rule, sometimes on ecology, sometimes on spirituality, interfaith dialogue, how other religions understand God and how Christians can relate to them. Students are having a marvelous experience through the Mission Center.
Look at how we've evolved in 100 years, that our mission now is to be in interfaith dialogue. Our mission now is to see God in all people and God in all faith traditions. Our mission now is to begin to really understand our connectedness with the earth and our responsibility to the planet.
The goal of our work is not to bring the world into the church. Rather, the goal of our work is to bring the church into the world. I no longer see missionary work as trying to convert others. First of all, only God can convert. I can't convert anybody else, and I can't even convert myself. So it is God who does the work of conversion.
Salvation, as I understand it, is a gift. It's God's gift. It doesn't depend on me. I can't add one iota to that gift. And so what is asked of me is to be faithful to the gift I have received, to live and to express my gratitude for what I have received. That for me is extremely important. God is in charge. It's God's mission for the entire universe, for all of creation.